Hi Dexia,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Fine, thank you. I know that you are an English teacher, so I'm gonna ask you, why did you study English pedagogy?
Well, I decided to study English pedagogy because I really liked English. It was my favorite
Yes.
subject at school, and I thought it was really important to learn another language. Plus, I had some interest in pedagogy, in teaching, but I was doing well at the career, so I always thought that English was going to be really important now and in the future, of course.
Right. And do you think that it's important for children to learn English?
Yes, absolutely. The sooner they learn another language, the sooner they will become bilingual people. Plus, nowadays, we all know that English is really important, is part of a globalized world, so you must know English nowadays.
Yes. Right. And are you currently working as a teacher?
No, I'm not working as a teacher right now. I
Why?
quit my job. I quit my job last year because
Right.
I decided I didn't have too much vacation for that. So I decided to quit my job and now I'm working doing something else.
Right. And what are you doing now for a living?
I am working right now for a publishing house. I am
Right.
writing a book, an English course book for kids who are in fifth grade. And this course book is primary for public schools and subsidized schools.
Right, and it is hard write an English course book.
No, I wouldn't say it's very difficult. It's really entertaining. It's a nice work, but sometimes you need to get creative, and that's a
Right,
little bit difficult sometimes. But it's a nice work. I like it. I have to write a lot, and I think is going to be really helpful for the kids. It's going
right,
to be really useful. Plus, we have to start from the very basic level and then try to make it a little bit difficult, but it's going to be really useful, I think.
great. And what are your plans for the future?
Well, my main plan for the future is to travel to another country. I would like to travel to a country where people speak English, of course.
Right,
For example, Canada or United States or England, maybe. And I of course I need to practice my English because I haven't practiced it very good
but you
lately.
have a very nice English,
Do you think so?
I think.
Well, I have to practice for that. I think that if you could practice more, you would have a better fluency in a better fluent English.
Right, and do you think that English will be useful in your future plans?
Of course, if I decide to travel abroad, well, if I travel, for example, to France, people there will speak English. If I travel to China, people there will speak English. So everywhere you go, you will find people who are English speakers all the time. And if I travel to Canada, I can easily find a job, maybe not working as a teacher, but doing something else. I need to understand other people. I need to let myself other people to understand me. So I have to speak English. That's the main tool for this. You need to find a job, you need English. You need to communicate with other people from different countries, you need English as well. So it's a very important, very useful tool nowadays.
Right, and do you think that people like us, journalists, have to learn English?
Definitely. I mean, if you're going to work, for example, in a TV program or the news, for example, if you're going to be sent to another country, you will of course have to speak English because people everywhere speak English
Right,
nowadays. It's very important. Do you speak English, by the way?
a little bit,
Just a little bit?
just a little bit.
Why? Why don't you speak more English?
I don't know. It's hard to find. some place where you have to practice English. So that's the most important reason. But
Yeah.
anyway, like in your career like a teacher, what do you think about the level of English of the children in this country? It's right, it's low. What do you think?
Do you mean children only or just students in general?
First, the children.
I think, well, we have to make the comparisons between private schools and public schools. Private schools start with English from pre-garden, I mean kindergarten, preschool classes, and public schools start with English from the fifth grade, which is
Right.
the course where I'm working right now. And it's really different. I mean, if you don't start teaching English from since you are a kid, of course you will have more difficulties to learn it when you are older.
Also.
But the level, well, in my experience, according to my experience, I can tell you that it's really difficult to teach English. I mean, I was working as a teacher since I was working for 3 years as a teacher, and I quit because I didn't have many chances to practice English with my students. I got frustrated. Sometimes I lost many vocabulary because I couldn't find the words in my mind. Students didn't allow me to make my classes in English. They said, "No, we don't like English."
They didn't help you.
No, they didn't help me at all. At all. They said, for example, "Teacher, we're not going to speak English because it's not useful to us. So we need the whole class to be in Spanish." And of course, I had to do my lessons in Spanish. That's why I started to uh, lose some words in my mind. It's very difficult for me right now to make my English very fluent.
So
The level of students, I could say in general, it's not very good. I think if you don't start from when they are children, you will lose the teaching. It's
right.
difficult.
So it's a challenge for our society.
It's a
The
challenge.
English.
Yeah, it's a challenge for us as an English teachers. For example, math teachers or language teachers or science teacher, they do the lessons in Spanish, but we must do our lessons in English.
Yes,
That's
right.
that's very important. But if the students don't allow you to make your classes in English,
It's very
what is
difficult.
left? I mean, you have to do it in Spanish.
Yes,
Otherwise, they wouldn't understand anything.
right.
Among all the students that I had, for example, I had 40 students in class. I could find 3 of them that really liked English and they learned English, but the other ones, they didn't care about it.
Well, Texia, and thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you.
And right, goodbye.
Goodbye.